Kenyan Deputy President William Ruto has pleaded not guilty to crimes against humanity. His trial began at the International Criminal Court in The Hague today. Ruto is accused of masterminding the deadly post-election violence in his country 5 years ago. Our East Africa Bureau Chief Robin Creel has the latest, and she joins us from Nairobi. Robin, afternoon to you. So how did the Deputy President appear in court today?
Well, very relaxed. His family was present. He shook his head throughout some of the prosecution's opening statements, even smiling at times. At the moment, he has his defense attorney Karim Khan on for him. Karim is playing a number of visuals as well as interviews that the Deputy President gave to some local journalists immediately following the aftermath of the post-election violence, as well as after he had been labeled as one of the people who the ICC wished to investigate back in 2008. Very, very relaxed. Obviously, he is the second most powerful man in Kenya, so he has become very used to being in the spotlight, as well as being in the ICC as well, Nikki, where this isn't the first time he's been there, obviously, with a number of pre-trial hearings he had to attend in the past.
And how closely is this being watched back home, Robin?
Incredibly closely, both by supporters and of Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, those who voted them both into power, into two of the most powerful positions in the country, president and deputy president, both standing accused of crimes against humanity. Uhuru's trial beginning in November, but also of those who want to see justice served. More than 1,200 people lost their lives in the 2007-2008 post-election violence. More than 500,000 people displaced by that violence. It was an incredibly turbulent time in Kenya. It was bad for the economy. It was bad in a whole number of ways. So everyone glued to the TV screens. Kenyans, naturally a very news-hungry society, and now so even more. All the local stations are playing live coverage of this ICC case, as well as all of the local radio stations.
Now, of course, just last week, Robin, you were reporting to us that Kenya has withdrawn from the ICC. What response has there been at The Hague to this, and what bearing does it have on this case?
It has no bearing, and the only response that the ICC has really given is the fact that they did state that it has no bearing. It will take about a year before the whole process of Kenya withdrawing its membership from the ICC will even be instituted. So it's really not going to have any effect on President Uhuru Kenyatta's trial, that of the radio DJ Joshua Arap Sang, who is Ruto's co-accused, and Ruto himself. At the moment, Nikki, where the Senate, Kenya's new Senate, is debating at Parliament whether or not they believe that Kenya should also withdraw. MPs earlier this week voting vastly in favour of withdrawing their membership from the ICC. Of course, the Kenyan Parliament is a majority, a Jubilee coalition. That is the Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta, as well as Deputy President William Ruto. They are obviously the Jubilee coalition. They are the majority in Parliament. Now the Senate arguing. I understand that former Foreign Minister Moses Wetangula is giving his remarks at the moment, saying that Kenya cannot be seen in the eyes of the international community to be pulling out of some processes, that it will be seen to be jittery and causing waves, and not making Kenya seem to be a stable nation. Wetangula, of course, is part of the opposition party, the Accord party, belonging to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Robin Creel, eNCA East Africa Bureau Chief, with the latest.
News that moves. eNCA.com.